Well, hello, everybody. My name is Chris Barton. I write books for young people.
And my name is Jennifer Ziegler, and I also write books for young people.
And we also love talking with other authors about the dedications in their books. That's what this video series, this one's dedicated to, is all about. And today we're talking with our friend Traci Sorell about her new book, Classified. Hello, Traci.
Hi, Traci.
Good morning. Hello to both of you. I'm delighted to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you with us and to be talking about a book that is not, as of this recording, even out in the world yet. So it's still a few weeks away. But we were wondering if we could start with you reading the dedication in Classified out loud so we can hear that in your own voice.
Sure. For future engineers, mathematicians, and scientists, do the best you can, as Mary would say. I'm rooting for you.
Nice. Thank you. So why is this book dedicated to the group that it's dedicated to, rather than to a smaller group or to a larger group or to someone in particular?
Well, usually when I work on dedications, it is of a more personal nature. But this book, and actually a book that I have coming out later this spring, are two broader groups of people, although the other one's still a little more personal than this one. But as I worked on the book, the full title is Classified: The Secret Career of Mary Golda Ross, Cherokee Aerospace Engineer. I thought about how Mary, grew up not far from me, a little further east here within the Cherokee Nation. And her mother had donated some of her land for a community schoolhouse to be put together so that the kids who lived around them on their own Cherokee allotments could attend school together. Later, Mary moves into Tahlequah to live with her grandparents, to go to high school, and then she attends the university that used to be the Cherokee Female Seminary. And I thought about how, so much of how we are formed comes from that family, from our backgrounds. And sometimes we can grow up in an encouraging environment like Mary's family and our Cherokee Nation provided for her. And what I find is that sometimes in the pages of a book, a child will find that encouragement that they may not have at home and they may not have in school either. And so I just wanted to kind of carry on Mary's legacy, because one of the things that she did while she was working, but also after she retired, she was very steadfast in encouraging other Native Americans, other women in general, to join the field. She was a founder of the co-founder of the Los Angeles chapter of the Society of Women Engineers. She was very involved with the American Science and Engineering Society. So I am not an engineer. I have no math background, no science background. That is a very challenging field to me. And yet, like Mary, because of spending this time, with Mary through doing this book, what I saw was, if she was still here, she would still be working on that. She would still be encouraging young people to, if you have an aptitude for math, you have an aptitude for science, or you want to work at that, excel at that, because your gifts are needed. I mean, what do we need right now as, we're experiencing this pandemic? We need people with good backgrounds in math and science, right? We're looking for how can we distribute a vaccine? Those require calculations. How do we create more vaccines? How do we look at future pandemics and prevent them? How do we continue to develop technologies that are going to assist us in daily life? Whether that's plain designs like Mary started out with as a mathematician, or later she evolves to working on the space race, right? And so I am truly rooting for those young people, because even if, the work that I have done in my life is not anything that my family did when I was growing up, nothing I've done is related to that. And certainly nothing Mary did was related to her, what her family did. But we both came from a place where education was very important to our families. And thankfully, we did have people along the way within the educational system that did encourage us. And so I just thought, even if like young people don't have that, I want them to know that there is someone, me, who is rooting for them to keep going, because we need whatever gifts and abilities that they can bring to bear. I mean, that's what we're all here for, is to bring our collective gifts to help, everyone around us.
Another thing I wanted to ask is, so when we dedicate books to individuals, we can present them with a copy or put it in the mail so that they know that they're being celebrated in this way. And I was wondering if with classified, if there was any individual, any future mathematician, engineer, scientist that you or maybe your publisher hope to present this book to?
I don't have one right off the top of my head. I mean, books are going to some of Mary's family that I'm connected to that have helped with the book and have been supportive, and certainly other Native engineers at NASA who helped review it.
And I imagine that sooner or later you're going to hear from someone who comes across this book one way or another, who says, you dedicated this book to me. You didn't know it. I didn't know it when I picked it up, but I want to be an engineer now. It's because of this book.
I would welcome that. I mean, like I say, that to me would be honoring Mary's legacy. She just was absolutely dedicated to bringing others into the profession and encouraging them. And so any small piece that I could do to further that would absolutely be welcome.
I start a little, do an introduction. The first thing we'll do is ask you to read the introduction so we can hear it in your own voice. Is that all right with you?
You mean the dedication?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Oh.
Dedication. No, I'm sorry. This is our video series about introductions. Different video series.